Okay, I've been super excited to film this video. Today we're going to be going over my entire collection of my collected editions in my room, of course. I've been excited to make this video. I was gonna at the end of 2025, like mid to early December, and then I just got weird about it, like antsy. I didn't want to mess it up, but I came up with a good idea. It seemed like a ton to do in a video because I was going to do my single issues with it. Instead, I'm going to do all my collected editions, including some manga, and just have more fun with it. It should be a pretty quick video, just going over everything I have, and maybe some of the stuff I want, and giving you little backstories to the ones that really deserve it. Besides that, sit back, enjoy it, and let's get straight into it because there's a decent amount already. With my goal being 1,000 eventually, not just collected editions, but comics in general. And I think I'm around like 600 some. It's like $7,000 in value. I'll have to show you guys the Comic Geek stats, but we're well on our way because the whole idea is you get 1,000 books. It's a library. Does it not sound sick to have a comic library? Let's go. Starting out first with the ones in my room. On top, I just have a really simple display. I don't want too much because I look cluttered. I got my Slowpoke Funko Pop, literally one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. If you want to know the rest of the top 5, we have Slowpoke, Latios, Raikou, Slowking, and Slowbro. I love the Slowpoke evolution line as well. We have this Daily Planet like newsstand thing for newspapers that was a popcorn bucket for the Superman movie. Amazing. And then this really cool Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Godzilla collab figure I found. I've never seen the others. One day I'll get the rest, but for now I'm really happy with the Leo Godzilla one. So starting from left to right, the whole idea of my collected edition collection in my room is to go alphabetically and then timeline-wise. See, the problem is it's not as consistent as I want it to be. If you guys have any advice on any of these that are out of order, let me know. I think most of them are in order with a exception down here, but I'll get to it. So starting out with Batman, we have these two first books to the Batman The Second Knight. These are really cool. The only problem being they're kind of similar size to single issues, but they're more long horizontally. They're very awkward, and I don't know if you can get protectors for these like you can single issues, so I'll have to see. But I have those two first because it comes very early in Batman's career. I mean, he still has the first appearance costume on, so I just put him there first. Then we have Batman Year One, of course, The Long Halloween, Nightfall. I think all of those I'm really confident in the order of. We have Batman and Robin. I found this at Ollie's. Anytime you can get like trade paperbacks or stuff that you really want at Ollie's, always a win. A couple of these actually I got at Ollie's. A good amount of the Scott Snyder run. Court of Owls. I think I got this first one or the second one at my local card shop. Funny enough, for a good price, it was like $8. One of the two. But I have Court of Owls, volume number 1 and 2. Then we have Death of the Family by Scott Snyder, 0 Year Secret City, and then finally 0 Year Dark City. I was kind of silly. I wasn't aware that that was all a part of one run, so very soon I'm going to read all of them. I don't know if it goes into this run with the Batman Detective Comics Anarchy, or that's a whole different one, but I will get around to that because the cover for this, I'll show really quick, does look really cool with Anarchy on it, of course. After that, what I was going to read during the Christmas season, and I guess completely forgot, probably because I was reading this at the time, Green Lantern by Geoff Johns, Volume 1. Amazing read. We'll get to that in a second. I forgot to read this around Christmas time. The whole point being it happens during Christmas time, so it would have been a great read. You know, we'll save it for next year, I guess. But Batman Noel is such a cool story that takes place during Christmas time. The only thing that I know about it is apparently Lee Bermejo, I think is how you say it, is amazing in this with writing and I think art. But the story is based on like a, what do you call it? I think Christmas Carol, like the story for the movies where you have a ghost of past, present, and future that kind of help you with your morals or like your greediness, at least for Scrooge. I'm not quite sure what the lesson is for Batman. I haven't read it yet, but that's what I understand so far. Next after that, we have Crisis on Infinite Earths. Very, very important story for comics history. Great, too. I just read that a couple months ago. Doomsday Clock, Part 1 and 2. If you love Geoff Johns' writing and you need something else to read and you haven't yet, Doomsday Clock is very entertaining, especially with it including the Watchmen. There's not a lot of Watchmen stories because most people have respected Alan Moore's vision and not really touched them. I think there's a pre-Watchmen and then Doomsday Clock. Besides Watchmen, I'm pretty sure that's it, besides the show and movies. Then we have The Flash by Geoff Johns. This was honestly a letdown for me in Geoff Johns' entire like comics that he's written. I thought it was just kind of all right. But nonetheless, it was good. It was decent. It just wasn't what his others have been. Then we have The Flash by Joshua Williamson. I heard that was amazing. I haven't gotten around to it yet. You can see the seal is still on it. Like some of my other Omnis you're going to see. It's kind of disappointing, but this year I hope to really get through some of my Omnis. We have Green Lantern Silver Age. I started and stopped that one. There's a lot of Omnis I did the same with. I'll get to in a little bit here. But this I read like a couple issues into, and the Silver Age writing just wasn't really hitting when I read it. I think I'm going to come back to it and probably appreciate it a lot more. One that I don't need to come back to appreciate, and you can notice I have two of. We have Green Lantern Green Arrow. I got that trade paperback edition you see before you. This is literally one of my favorite stories of all time. And so when I heard that there was an omnibus that I believe collects even more than that, of course, because, I mean, I would hope so, the size, I needed it. And it was my most wanted omnibus. And this year for Christmas, in actually a competition we had going between me and my best friend, the idea of the competition was each month we'd tally up who read the most comics. And if you read the most comics each month for the most amount of months during the year, you would get an omnibus bought for you by the loser. And sure enough, I'm pretty sure I won like 5-3, I believe, and ended up getting this. It's basically my most wanted omnibus ever, and I'm so happy to have it. I can't wait to read it. I do want to read some of the other stuff I haven't yet first. And honestly, it looks so perfect. Well, I need to pull it out of the seal yet. Oh my gosh. My first omnibus ever, and literally another one of my favorite stories ever, and especially one of my favorite characters you'll see soon here, Green Lantern. Geoff Johns did so much for the Green Lantern mythos. People still talk about his run to this day super highly. I don't know if I've ever heard somebody talk down on it. Like, genuinely ever. I don't think I've even heard anybody say it's decent. He added so much with the different Lantern Corps and the leaders and the Sinestro Corps and all the different things, even just in Volume 1. And then to look at across the run, it's so impressive. I can't wait to read Volume 2 for myself. I did start and stop Blackest Night. I think I got to probably about here, like a good chunk, maybe over halfway through it. And then I decided I don't want to go from, I kid you not, I read some of this before and then was reading all Blackest Night. I'm like, that's the worst way to do it. I want to go back and read what comes before and then read it. Funny enough, though, if you really want to know how to do this right, Blackest Night is actually in this. So you'd be doing yourself a little bit of a disservice reading this after all the volumes of Geoff Johns. But this is perfect for it. If you want to read the Blackest Night event, you really could just read this and understand everything. But if you want to do it right, I say read this, most of this till you get to Blackest Night. Read this instead of just the issues 0 to 8, and then go on to Volume 3. Because this has, I'm pretty sure, all the tie-ins for the Blackest Night event. But this I got for Christmas. I was so happy to. My mom got it for me. I can't wait to read that because I just got done with this. It's probably perfect timing. I probably should go right into that. I might read some other stuff first because there's a lot of collected editions throughout here that have been waiting. And like I got into, obviously, my Blackest Night Omnibus, one of my favorites. It's so cool. I love the spine for it. Next here, we have my Red Lanterns Omnibus. I got this a couple months ago, right when it came out, and it was kind of stupid. I think by now it's already down to like $60 or $70 on some sites. I paid $90 for it. It was originally, I think, $125, so I still got a deal. I got it in Canada, and so the US dollar's worth more, so I actually got a deal right away for it. I should have just waited, but it's such a beautiful omnibus. I love how they have Dexter on the side, and then all these Red Lantern rings just floating, and the side just looks amazing. I do really love that new DC logo. Beyond that, we actually have two Christmas presents, one after another, with DC Finest Green Lantern, Earth's Other Green Lantern, and the Green Lantern Kyle Rayner Rising Compendium. This I got from my girlfriend. I think she actually got a deal on it. It was like $20-some rather than the usual $40. A lot of DC Finest go on sale on Amazon, so if you ever really want one, be on the lookout on Amazon. They do great deals. But I got this, and I just love the cover for it, like that original cover for when Guy Gardner is introduced, and I can't wait to read it. That's one I am going to try to prioritize and read soon. But probably even more than that one, oh my gosh, I got this one from my mom. Green Lantern Kyle Rayner Rising Compendium. These are really high up on my priority list. This one has got to be above. I've always wanted to know Kyle Rayner's original story. I understand the character. I know him pretty well, and I know a lot of what happens, but not everything. And I read Eye on Guardian of the Universe that was also written by Ron Mars, the one that does this story. I was not really impressed with that, so I really hope that this is good and it changes my perspective. Maybe it might even make that story better. If not, that story will be all right to me, and this will probably be great. Who knows? This I have a really good story for. This entire Robert Venditti run. I'll try to be kind of quick about it because we do have more to go. I appreciate you guys watching this far. If you are enjoying, please leave a like and subscribe. It helps so much. But my one of my favorite stories I have in the entire like time collecting comics. So this past April in 2025, I went to the South Carolina Comic-Con with some of my best friends. And you have to understand, and this is going to sound bad for Venditti. It's not, I promise, but I'll set it up like this. A lot of the celebrities, mostly like TV show people, movie people, they were all to a side. Like they were on like the far end. But what I didn't realize is a lot of writers and artists, while the like actors and different stuff are on the side and voice actors, they had a lot of writers and artists like in the middle. I didn't understand that layout. So he's there at his booth with, I think, a helper, like selling off stuff, whatever. I didn't understand that. I had looked over, and it's probably a bunch of his different work. Like I said, I didn't understand. I saw Green Lantern stuff. I'm like, this looks great. I haven't heard of this stuff. And so I think he came over to see if like he could get a sale. And I think he was talking about it to me. And I was like, yeah, I'd love to buy a couple. Like, I haven't read these yet, and I'd like to try some out. So maybe I'll get like one or two. And still not understanding, he goes, I really don't want to part with just a couple because I got the whole set here. I still don't know if this is the whole set or not. Please tell me if I have this even in the right order. But he goes, I don't want to part with just a couple out of the whole set. I have the whole set here. I'd like to part with them all at once. He said, if you could give me $70, I'll sign them and you can have all of them. It still didn't sink in. This is how like out of it was, because this Comic-Con was like overwhelming in like the best ways. Don't worry, it's not like a bad thing. I loved it. But he signed them all, and like each of these, depending on, can go for like I think $15 to $20 or more. So cut me a really nice deal. All of them are signed. I'll show you in a second here. And I'm just really happy to have them. I am going to read this very soon. I'm pretty sure it comes after John's run, and it might even come after some Tomasi stuff. So I've been waiting to read them chronologically. I haven't always done that with my Green Lantern stuff, but like these really good runs, I do want to show some respect to. So there's all of them. We have Lights Out, Dark Days, Test of Wills, The Life Equation, Godhead, Renegade, and Reflections. If this isn't the order, please let me know. I'm all ears. Like, I want to read it correctly. After that, on an Arizona trip I went on this year, I found this. Green Lanterns. This is when it's Simon Baz and Jessica Cruz. I can't wait to read more from them. I haven't really seen enough of them. I personally got the trade at a comic book shop because I love the power rings, and they have Simon Baz as a power ring fighting his normal self on the cover. I thought that was so cool. These are very special to me as well. My girlfriend got me this one, Green Lantern Season 2, Volume 1. I think it's very confusing. This is basically Volume 1. This is basically Volume 2. But the way they structure it, I guess, for the title makes it very confusing. She got me this for, I think, my birthday, and she didn't know there was anything before it, and I didn't really either. I saw the Season 2, and I kind of figured, but I started reading it, and I was so confused. So I looked up, and of course, Green Lantern Intergalactic Lawman, and I have to show it. I love this cover. So cool. By Grant Morrison and Liam Sharp, I believe. I had to get it, so funny enough, perfect timing. Also got this for Christmas from my brother. So now I'm going to read through all that, and then I can finally get through to the one my girlfriend got me. I have read some of this online. I loved it. I do want to read it, though, now physical and all at once. Like, I was taking my time a little bit with it. I do actually have some single issues of this, too. If you guys end up watching the single issue video I'm going to do in my collection, you will see some from this in it. And then, of course, Green Lantern Season 2. Some of these slip covers are a little bit up. Like, you can see my entire finger is... There we go. That's better. Yeah, these covers are amazing. Liam Sharp is so gifted, and I don't think I have enough of his stuff. I need to get more, but Grant Morrison, obviously, too. I can't wait to. But that's all of it for the one side. Now we got some more, and you can see just how many Green Lantern things I have. It's not just, and maybe a little bit, it's not just a fixation with the character. I think they have had such talented, creative teams on the Green Lantern side. Speaking of, one of my favorite artists of all time, and I think relatively unknown to some people, Gabriel Hardman did Green Lantern Earth 1. He also does these two I always say variant covers. A variant cover I love and a regular cover. The regular cover he does is for Batman The Question, Green Arrow, or Batman Green Arrow The Question, Arcadia. Brand new series, I think tomorrow, as of the filming of this video, the second issue is coming out. And then there is a variant cover for Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong, volume, issue number 1, where it's Green Lantern with like his fist in the air and the ring glow is going, and it shows Godzilla, King Ghidorah, Flash, and him. Amazing. I love his art. And I think he does art for this, and I believe he either writes or co-writes and it's amazing. The covers for these are amazing. I think the Green Lantern ones, these look the best with the Earth One covers that they did, like the style for it, personally to me. And the stories were great too. I thought at the end of this it was a little rushed, but overall it was really good. After that, funny enough, one that people genuinely give so much credit, and so far from what I read when I tried to read it, I didn't like that much, Far Sector. I think one of these times I am going to try to reread it. I don't know if it's just one of those times I wasn't really enjoying reading as much, but I just really didn't enjoy it. And it's wild because people give Far Sector so much credit, so it was probably me that was wrong. I'll try to read it again soon, but I'll let you guys know. Maybe that's one of those everybody likes it, and I just don't like it so much cases. We have Alan Scott, the Green Lantern, next. One I haven't heard that much about, and I loved. That story was amazing. There's not much more to say. Alan Scott, I feel like, isn't talked about enough, and I do really like his design. The story is, like, really tragic and crazy, too. And I almost said it's a fun ride. It's a crazy, like, entertaining read. It's definitely not a fun ride, though. After that, I'd say another exact same case. Really entertaining read, wild ride. We have John Constantine Hellblazer, Original Sins, by Delano. I think Ridgway. There's no E. I think it's still Ridgway. Alcala and Veitch, I think is how you say it. There is so many, like, I think during that time they were still just doing individual short stories. There's so many wild short stories in there. There's one about, like, a Vietnam veteran. Wild. You just have to read it for yourself. JSA, Justice Be Done, is next. I got this from my card shop. They had a really good deal on it, and I do really like the JSA. I will say I haven't gotten around to reading that. Maybe eventually when I do a collection tour, if I have to re-show off the same books, I'll give you guys different stories from and skip some of the ones I've already talked about. Maybe next time I'll talk about this one. Next, Justice League by Geoff Johns. This is some of Geoff Johns' better work. I didn't really care for the Flash one like other people did. I haven't read all the other volumes, though. Maybe one is just kind of weak and the rest are really good. But Justice League I love. I think the only issue, and funny enough, I don't have it. I had to read it online. I think the only one I didn't like that much was, I said issue again, volume number 4. The rest of these are incredibly good. We have the Crime Syndicate that I love so much. Speaking of, there's the Power Ring. There's basically Hal's Power Ring. I love the Crime Syndicate so much. So that one was great. I really like the Throne of Atlantis. The Villain's Journey was great. And then Origins might be the best one. I know I really enjoyed it. Funny enough, you want some lore to my comic book reading. Justice League Origin and where is it? Oh, it's up here. You'll have to see in a second. Superman Year One by Frank Miller got me back into reading comics. And what's funny is, I'll say it now. I'll go over it later, obviously, too. But a lot of people don't like it. So it's kind of funny that helped get me back into comics. Maybe it was just good enough to spark my interest. Next up, we got Justice League Hawkworld. This is another one I got at Ollie's. You can see the orange sticker. Haven't read it yet, but I do plan on it whenever I get around to it. Then we have Justice League vs. Godzilla vs. Kong, the first one, the full trade paperback. I might, honestly, when it comes out, get the hardcover trade paperback or hardcover edition, whatever you want to call it, for the second one, too. We'll see. What I really want to read soon, Geoff Johns is also on the creative team of Justice League of America by Brad Meltzer. This I found on my trip to Colorado, I think a year or two ago. Just the cover and back alone, like this extended cover or wraparound of the Justice League really caught my eye, and I really want to read that soon. Next up, Kingdom Come. Amazing story. I think I know somebody that doesn't like it that much. I love the art, and I really was entertained by the story. Maybe I'll have to reread it and see if my opinion changes, but right now, it's pretty high up on my list. Speaking of, Nightwing, On With The Show. This is by, I think it's Tom Waters. I can't remember Waters, though. Really great story, and one of the first Nightwing stories I've read, and from what I heard, Nightwing stories are pretty damn consistent. I gotta read the Tom Taylor stuff, too. Next up, we got Red Hood and the Outlaws. One that people really like, I didn't, honestly. Another one I'll have to reread eventually and see if my opinion changes, but I wasn't that high up on it. Another thing I do want to mention, they do like the face on Red Hood's mask, and I just don't like that. That didn't warp like how I felt about the writing or anything, but it also didn't help. Secret Six by Gail Simone. I have heard Gail Simone is so good, and that's why I want to prioritize this. As you can see, this is another one of my omnibus with the shrink still on it. I haven't read. Gail Simone gets so much credit for Secret Six and what's it called, Birds of Prey, that I can't wait to get into it. I think she also constantly collabs with this specific artist because I feel like I see this like very similar cover art and I love the look of it. So I'm hoping that's what the interior art is like too. One, fortunately, to talk about, I have another one I have read. DC Finest The Spectre. I expected a little bit more, but it's entertaining and fun at times too. There's some like okay stories, but for the most part, I'd say it's pretty good. So if you like Spectre, you'll probably like this too. I do really like Jim Corrigan throughout this, which is basically the human form of Spectre. I don't know if that's a good description of that. Like when Spectre's not himself, like when he's recharging and not like out catching people, he's inside the body of Jim Corrigan. He's like a host. That's way better. Sorry. Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow I read. I thought it was really good. I don't know if it's as good to me as other people say. And don't worry, that's not, I wouldn't necessarily say a trend with me. I don't try to be like that. I don't know. What's really funny is Woman of Tomorrow has probably the most amount of narration I've ever seen in a book. It's really funny. I caught myself being like, holy cow. Like there might be more narration than dialogue. That might be a stretch, but I still really enjoyed it. I don't know if it's like one of the best stories of all time. Then of course, back to Superman Year One. There's some interesting stuff that happens throughout this. I think Superman goes to the military. I think he also goes to Atlantis and falls in love with a mermaid. There's a bunch of stuff that happens. I can't remember all the rest, but I remember enjoying it. So maybe one of these times I got to reread it and see if I accidentally ruin it for myself because some people say it's not that good. I feel like I enjoyed it. So right now, I'm probably way higher on it than others are. And then next, another one I got for Christmas. One of the last ones I think you'll see in this list. I think I talked about all the ones so far. But Superman, The Death and Return of Superman, another one my mom got me. She got me the Green Lantern by Jeff Johns, Volume 2, Superman, The Death and Return, and that Kyle Rayner Rising. This, I have heard about The Death and Return of Superman for so long and just never got around to reading it for myself. The cover itself and the spine are super iconic. This might be a little hard to get out, so bear with me here. I'll just push the other one back. Just the tattered cape just flowing and just like on the stick signifying Superman is defeated. It is so cool. I can't wait to read it for myself. And it is a thick omnibus, so lots of reading there will be. I believe this is obviously part of the story. You can see like the same insignia for the Hope. Superman, The Return of Superman. Before I got this from Ollie's, planning to get the rest of the trades. Now I don't have to, but I still kind of enjoy having this. The cover itself and the spine look really cool, so I don't think I'll ever get rid of that. Next up, Superman for All Seasons. I read that this year because people said it is such a good like follow-up if you really enjoyed the Superman movie. And my lord, were people on the money. The art, the story, everything about this trade or just story in general is amazing. Like, I really enjoyed it. Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale are one of the best duos of all time. It's so special. Next, another one, I told you about Superman Year 1 and Justice League Volume 1. That was my girlfriend's mom that got me them. She also got me this. I think she went 2 for 3. I'll have to read this for myself, though, but I've heard some stuff about this, so we'll see if it ends up being good. I know a lot of people don't like Wonder Woman with Superman, but I guess I'll have to read for myself. Now, this was the exception I was talking about earlier, having the question omnibus here. I did it by the T for the question, just so this stuff could fit the way that they did. When I had it in the Q spot, the like collection sat weird how it all was, so I rearranged it so that it would, I guess, be set up how I enjoyed it. I don't know. The compacts I had in alphabetical order as well, and I wanted them all to be together. Maybe eventually I'll do the DC Finest too, just because they look so good together. But right now they're in a specific order. I had to put Deceased here because I don't think basically any of the others could fit. Maybe Hush. But they're purposely the way they are, just so the collection could fit the way it is. On top of that, literally, I found this on my trip to Arizona this past year. It is what they call a paperback library or paperback comic, you can see there. But part of the paperback library, I guess, it used to be 75 cents. This is, I believe, just issue 1 of Green Lantern, Green Arrow. I got it for $10. Maybe that's a ripoff, but I thought it was so cool. Just like a part of history and one of my favorite comics ever. And on the back, they actually had a picture of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Robert F. Kennedy, which I thought was kind of cool. And then you can see here, the person made sure to put like 1972, and then it was, I think, the first printing for it. Just like a really cool thing to have. I have opened it before. I'm not gonna lie, just to see if it smelled weird. It definitely does smell like old comics, but I have never read it for myself. Maybe one of these times I will. Probably wouldn't even take that long. I will say, before I just skip over the compacts, you saw the ones I have, but just in case, we have All-Star Superman, which I really liked. Some people in the comic community, specifically for TikTok, I've seen some people be like, it's just genuinely not as good as people say. I really enjoyed it. Then we have Batman Hush. Funny enough, kind of similar story there. Super iconic story, but people have certain ways they feel about it. Then we have The Authority. I haven't gotten around to reading it, and it's a thick one, so I can't wait. DC The New Frontier. I really enjoyed it, especially Darwin Cook's art. I think the story at times was okay, but it was really enjoyable overall. Watchmen. This has got to be a sin. I read Doomsday Clock before Watchmen. I still haven't gotten around to it, but I know how bad I want to read it. It's just, I think that might be one of the thickest compacts yet. And then, of course, Deceased. I did read that. I feel like other people liked it more than me, but it's also a part of Deceased. It's not even the full story. One of these times I'll reread it, but I read it so recently, and I just thought it was pretty decent. Another one I can't wait to read, and that's why I want to get through a lot of my Omnis. DC versus Marvel, the Amalgam Omnibus. This has so many cool character fusions that they made, like Darkclaw being Wolverine and Batman, Thanos side being Thanos and Darkseid. We have Spider-Boy, Amazon, Doctor Strange Fate, which I think is such a cool name. Iron Lantern, probably one of my favorite fusions for, obvious reasons. I also really like Lobo the Duck. Bat Thing is super cool. Speed Demon. Thor Ryan is another one of the coolest fusions they did. And then one my brother would love because he's a Doctor Doom fan, like super fan, Doctor Doomsday. Super cool. And that transitions us from a lot of the DC stuff, actually from the DC stuff. You can tell I'm very biased towards DC, into Marvel. I also really like Marvel. I just really need recommendations. I really want to read more Marvel and especially get like collected editions. I just don't have enough yet. Starting off with Daredevil, one of their premiere collections. I love the idea of compact comics and premiere premiere edition. What do they call it? Oh yeah, premiere collection. Wow, compact comics premiere collection. Okay. But I love the idea of it. DC's being 10, Marvel's being 15. I think so far you get the entire story for a really good price. I haven't read this yet. This is for Daredevil Born Again by Frank Miller. I got this around when the show was going to come out. I got it slightly before, and I planned to read it before I watched the show and just do a comparison. I did not. I did not read it. Next up, we have Daredevil by Chip Zdarsky. I got volumes 1 through 3. Literally some of my favorite books I have overall. Obviously, some of the Green Lanterns are up there, and some of the other ones I've mentioned that I really enjoy. Like, I don't even think I gave it its proper time. Batman Nightfall was insane. And Court of Owls I really liked. I still have to read City of Owls, but Nightfall was insane. I love that. But some of my favorite reads ever, Daredevil by Chip Zdarsky, just really fun. Very not fun for Matt himself, but fun for the reader. Then we have another kind of fun one, Man-Thing by R.L. Stine. They let R.L. Stine, the creator of Goosebumps, do his own run on Man-Thing. I think I read a decent bit of it, and I just kept putting it off, so I got to reread that one of these times, but I thought it was all right. Ultimate X-Men, a kind of out there take on X-Men that I really appreciated and enjoyed. Peach Momoko's art is really cool, so I had a fun time reading that, and I would love to get more. I can't wait till the second trade comes out if it hasn't already yet. Then if it has, I'm going to buy it soon. Then we got this Wakanda World of Black Panther omnibus. I got this at Ollie's for, I think, $25 rather than the full price. That was awesome. They had this, and I think they had a Black Panther one too, but honestly, this Wakanda one really piqued my interest, so I got that one rather than the just normal Black Panther one. Can't wait to read that. Then we have Star Wars The Force Awakens. I tried scanning this on Comic Geeks, and it didn't come up, so I don't know if it's like a very different book, like it's supposed to be like an actual one or what, but interesting. Then we get into IDW, then eventually Ghost Machine and the rest of Image, and then we have a Vertigo. But first, for IDW, we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles by Jason Aaron. If you like the Ninja Turtles and you don't know where to start with comics, that is the best recommendation I have. they basically do a format of they're taking their time, one turtle at a time, like story-wise, because they split up as a group and they're like individual. And most, I will venture to say, of the stories they tell for each turtle are super entertaining. I don't really want to give a lot away. I would like to pique your interest at least, though. So, for example, Donatello basically ends up in a fighting ring of some sorts, which is like, Donatello? Are we serious? Are we talking about the same nerdy, cute, lovable turtle here? Michelangelo becomes like a movie star type dude, which is like, you know what? I could kind of see that. That one, yeah, maybe that one's a little bit more believable. And then Leo and Raph, I'll leave up for you guys. I think Donnie, when you like read it, is the most shocking though. I did give that one away, but if you end up reading it, it's like, wow. Then we have Godzilla versus Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I just love this cover, and it caught my interest. I think I got this the same time I got, I believe, maybe not, I'm pretty sure. I got Kingdom Come and Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong at the same time. I think I also got this, but not like the craziest read ever writing-wise, but it's just fun. Then we have Geiger, kind of the opposite. The writing is fire. Like, it's really good. We got volumes 1 and 2 here. They do super simple covers, but I actually kind of dig it. Like, the spines for it look kind of cool. You have, like, almost this cracked, like, stone or whatever it is, and then kind of, like, some rusty here. And I think the volume 3 is, like, a gas can. Kind of cool, too. Then, another, like, insane run going with Geiger. Image is just great in general. All 3 of these titles are amazing if you need any recommendations. We have Transformers Volume 1, Robots in Disguise. That's the one I have read so far. I have to read Transport to Oblivion. I just bought it, and I loved Volume 1, so that's another one high up on my priority list. And then Void Rivals. Void Rivals, I did not expect it to be as good as it is. I did hear some really good stuff about it, but at the same time, it was like, we'll see. Because there's certain runs that you're going to read throughout your, I guess, comic life, career, whatever. That was interesting. Comic career, life, whatever you want to call it, just reading-wise, where obviously you're going to agree with some people on some all-time runs and disagree where you're like, yeah, that wasn't all that. Void Rivals has such a fun premise. I'll give a little bit away. It is basically 2 aliens from different, like, races, or I guess, what would you want to call, I think different races, I think you'd say, because they're different species of alien that are at war with each other, but it's basically like an artificial war. It is so interesting, and they are forced to be, like, on the same planet trying to survive, and they have to band together and put the war aside. It is so good. That's basically the plot of the first volume. I don't know after that. Obviously, there's other stuff that you'll read and get from it. But really good and really interesting. Again, speaking of, Preacher Book 1. One of the most, for sure, interesting reads I've ever had. Definitely has some really, really mature content in here. But if you are old enough to handle it, it is so good. I think this is Garth Ennis basically at his best. I haven't read all of his stories. I've just heard that The Boys is just kind of like edgy slop where he's just trying to go above and beyond. This feels kind of just right with the story they're telling. Like, just really out there characters, not holding back. And I really love the character of Jesse, which is Preacher in this. And basically all the characters that help him become himself and that are, like, supporting and around him. There is just so much going on. It'll very much keep you entertained. And his friend is a vampire. He's so great too. Just great story. I can't wait to get book 2 and on from that. I might eventually get the omnibus, but that's it so far for my collected edition. I can't wait to do a single issues collection. If you guys want to see that, it will be coming up very soon. Just let me know down below. And if you have any recommendations for collected editions, single issues, anything, even maybe a layout, maybe some of these I got wrong and you want to correct me, I don't care. Like, go for it. I will not mind. It'll be helpful. Go ahead. Besides that, like, the only one I will say that is for a reason is the question rather than being over here. But besides that, if I have any of the Green Lantern wrong, anything else, please correct me. It's all good. Besides that, I just want to say for the people that watch all the way through, I hope I helped entertain. I hope you had a good time. And I can't wait to see you guys again. Have a good one.